Hi, my name is Justin, aka VideoGameDocs, and welcome to my first episode of the VideoGameDocs Podcast. Hopefully I will come up with a better title for this later. The main format for this is going to be me talking in general, but this time I'm going to be explaining some new things, some things that happened, and just talking a little bit about me, myself, and I, and what you can expect for the future of this channel. I'm not quitting, I'll just put it right out there. But the idea is I'm going to be trying to create more stuff to kind of make this a more consistent channel. And the first thing I'd like to announce is I'm relaunching my Patreon, and I'm also relaunching YouTube memberships. So if you are interested in joining either of those, YouTube members, you can join for $1 a month. You can also join for $2.99 or $3 a month. You will be able to access these type of videos, but also Into the Collection videos, which I will be bringing back now. And I'm excited to do that, and I will touch on that subject a little more. But YouTube members, 99 cents or $2.99 to join that side of things, and that's what you'll be able to access. For Patreon, you can be a fan for $1, which you'll get behind the scenes posts, texts, images, stuff like that, and my heartfelt gratitude, of course. Now, if you're a supporter, same thing as previous stuff, but you will be getting the exclusive content, aka this and Into the Collection episodes. So that's the idea behind being a supporter, and that's for $3 a month. You can be an archivist for $5 a month, and that will grant you obviously everything from the supporter tier, but you also get access to my Discord community, which I will be bringing back online as well, and a little bit more exclusive content, including fan requests, and you will also be getting the latest major video for free on Patreon, ad-free on Patreon. So you'll be able to access it early, and you'll get it ad-free on Patreon before it uploads to YouTube, basically. So you can watch it all the way through without having to worry about ads. If your YouTube premium membership, sorry, maybe Archivist is not for you. But the other final tier is the documentarian tier, which is $10 a month, and you'll get access to everything in the previous tiers, but you'll also be able to provide feedback with early draft access. So whenever I finish a draft, you'll be one of the first people to look at it and be able to provide any sort of feedback. I should also mention that every single member, whether you're a fan all the way to documentarian, or whether you're a YouTube member for $1 or $2.99, you'll get member shoutouts at the end of each of my videos. So that will include on-screen credits and also verbal shoutouts depending on the tier. Yeah, that's the general idea. The main point is I want to kind of try to focus this more as a consistent thing. I want YouTube to eventually become a full-time job for me, so I can make documentaries on video games that I love and video games people love for the rest of my life. That's the plan. So if you would like to support that, please feel free to become a YouTube member or a Patreon member. It would mean the world to me. Whether you're a $1 fan, $3, or up to $10 fan, I would appreciate any of you joining at all. But also, please feel free to join the free Patreon tiers, because free Patreon members will still get posts, and same with free YouTube subscribers. You'll still get my community posts and stuff like that. There will just be some more exclusive content for Patreon and YouTube memberships. But that pretty much wraps it up for that. I will be bringing back Into the Collection. Into the Collection was a series I did a number of years ago that basically I would pull something off my shelf and open it up and take a look at it and say, hey, isn't this really cool? And I would like to bring that back just so that I can kind of engage with my collection a little bit more. It's very fun to do it, honestly, and it'll give me an excuse to kind of clean things out and make things look a little bit nicer as well. So the full content planner, the schedule for that, is I will be doing 2 from the collections a month for exclusive members, and then I will also be doing a podcast style video like this once a month. But obviously there will be text, image posts, stuff like that as well. And I'm also looking to try to start up a charity stream at the end of each month, just to kind of give back to any community. And if you are part of YouTube memberships and Patreon memberships, you will help have a say in what charities we can donate to. So yeah, if you enjoy this content, please feel free to join the Patreon, join the YouTube memberships. It would mean a lot to me. It always means a lot to me, but the idea of relaunching is so that I can make this more consistent in general. And then I would like to talk about the Switch 2 launch. So if you haven't seen my video, I recommend checking it out. That kind of gives my full succinct thoughts on the Switch 2. Basically, I love the console. I think it's a very worthy upgrade from the Switch 1, but again, that's kind of the issue, is it is an upgrade. So if you're not really willing, or if you don't really care for better specs or anything like that, or if you don't really care for Mario Kart World, you just want to play Animal Crossing or Breath of the Wild, then keep it, like just stay with the Switch 1. Or if you're interested in playing some Nintendo Switch Online titles, like GameCube titles, I think the Steam Deck is a good way to go as well. The emulation's pretty solid. I did have some issues with Luigi's Mansion when I emulated on Steam Deck, so I think your mileage may vary there, and you do have to be somewhat tech savvy to kind of, you know, get the emulation set up and be able to use it on the Steam Deck. But overall, I think the Switch 2 is great. I think the price is unfortunate, but I think it's just something that, you know, is kind of due to the current climate of things. But I've been really enjoying my Switch 2. I've been loving Mario Kart World. And again, in that video I kind of stated it, but it kind of just served my interests as to why I liked it. I really love Mario Kart World, and I love Donkey Kong. So when they announced Donkey Kong World, or Donkey Kong Bonanza, as also coming to the Switch 2 soon after launch, you know, what can a guy do? But I've also heard some criticisms on that video about supporting Nintendo, and trust me, I hear you. I don't think any corporation is a good corporation. There is no whataboutism with it. It's just Nintendo's where I chose to, you know, spend my hard-earned money. There are a lot of bad things in the industry that I don't like, including, you know, the initiative Stop Killing Games. I support that initiative. I worded that weird, but I support that initiative because it is an important initiative. There are a lot of preservation efforts that I think I have issue with in a lot of games and in a lot of ways in a lot of companies. I recently canceled my Game Pass subscription because I don't necessarily enjoy what Microsoft is doing. There are ways to talk with your money, put your money where your mouth is, all of that stuff. And I heard criticisms about buying the Switch 2, and I understand it, and I get it. But at the end of the day, it also is my money, and I'm gonna do what I want to do with it. And I don't necessarily think that buying Mario Kart World is, you know, I don't think me not buying Mario Kart World was going to stop Nintendo from pricing it at $80, you know, especially hearing the sales numbers that the Switch 2 already came out with. Yes, I understand. I contributed to that. But again, Mario Kart World's one of my favorite games. To me, I can justify the $80, even though I spent $50 because I got the bundle. I don't know what to tell you at that point. I don't like the fact that iPhones are, you know, $1,000, but at the end of the day, that's just what they're going to price them, and that hasn't changed, even with decreasing iPhone sales. But some of the BTS for the Switch 2 video that I want to talk about, first off, a different type of video. I really enjoyed making it. I have been trying to kind of like stretch outside the box, you know, get a little bit more creative with stuff like that. It is very influenced by a creator named Jay Caden. He makes similar content revolving around cameras and videographer, cinematographer equipment. If you haven't heard of him, go check his stuff out, even if you don't like cameras. I think he makes really great content and really fun content. But he's a big inspiration for the Switch 2 video. And I think if you watch the Switch 2 video, you can see it. Or if you watch his stuff and my Switch 2 video, you'll be able to see it. But he makes good stuff, and I really like him. So I wanted to kind of emulate his style. And the Switch 2 just released. You know, I didn't make a Switch 1 review because I didn't have a YouTube channel for the Switch 1, but I wanted to make something for the Switch 2, kind of to commemorate it, to document my experience with it. And I really liked it, so here we are. But some of the shots that I really liked, first off, the fan shot that was in there, that was not originally supposed to be in there. I just started shooting with that. I just started shooting that with my camera one day, and I liked it enough to put in the film, or in the video. And same with the plants. I just thought it was fun. And then I put the Switch 2 logo behind it, which I was pretty proud of, but that just took some time in After Effects to kind of mask. What else? Some of the outside shots I thought were pretty nice, kind of getting closer to the Switch 2 box, and also the shot kind of me on my couch playing, you know, technically Tears of the Kingdom, not Breath of the Wild, I thought was nice. I wish I found a better setup to capture this TV with some of my games. I'm gonna try to invest in some lighting equipment soon. That should help alleviate that. And if you subscribe to the YouTube memberships or Patreon, then you can help me afford that equipment to make better videos for you guys. But anyway, I'm also gonna talk a little bit about my trip to the Strong Museum. If you saw, I put a Patreon post last week while I was there, titled "Where in the World is VideoGameDocs?" That was supposed to be a little bit of a hint as to what I was doing, but I was at the Strong on a research fellowship that I had to apply for. If you don't know, a number of months ago, I went to the Strong Museum to do a presentation called Video Game History and YouTube. If you're interested in that presentation, it's on my video. I didn't do a great job recording it, unfortunately, because I kind of hastily set up my camera, but feel free to check it out. I think it's a pretty solid presentation. And so afterwards, the digital games curator, Lindsay Carano, came up to me and asked if I was interested in researching there. So I put in an application to do the fellowship there, and lo and behold, I got accepted. So I spent all of last week researching, digging through correspondence and archives, but the hint of that title was meant to be that I was researching about Broderbund. If you don't know Broderbund, they obviously published Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, Myst, Prince of Persia, Karateka, all great games. They were really big in the educational software industry. So I will be creating a video on them. And that was what my research fellowship was on. I was there last week reading through Doug Carlston, who is the founder. He ended up donating a lot of papers to the Strong Museum. And so I was reading through all of that information and kind of taking notes. I ended up taking 25 pages of notes, around 13,000 words worth of notes. So that video is probably not gonna come out anytime soon. It's probably gonna take me a while to kind of get through everything, but I'm super excited for it. I think it's gonna be a really great in-depth video. And the research that I was able to obtain at the Strong Museum was a lot different than the research that I normally do, which is primarily done online. But I thought it was really good and really interesting. So I want to say thank you to the Strong Museum. Thank you to Lindsay Carano and Christopher Bench, and also John Paul Dyson. They all made my trip there great. It was wonderful. And I really appreciated them. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to film the specific artifacts that I was taking a look at, but I have some other B-roll and some other pictures that you should see kind of while I'm talking about this. And if you want, I might make a full vlog video on it, we'll see. But then finally, what's coming next? So obviously we have the Broderbund video coming out sometime. I'm not gonna put a hard date on that just because, again, it's a lot of information that I have to go through. And I'm still doing more research and trying to get more footage. So that's kind of a ways away. I have an unannounced secret project that I'm working on with an independent developer to kind of tell the story of their studio and their personal story. So that will be in 2026. The Broderbund video will probably be in 2026 as well, unless I'm really good at my job. And then the Phantom video is reached the end of the writing phase, so I will begin editing that soon enough. I hope to have that out by the end of July, early August, and then obviously the Nintendo Wii video. The kind of part to the Nintendo DS, I think that they go hand in hand really well, and I've started researching on that. So I think both the Phantom video is going to be a different kind of video in a good way, but I'm really excited to, fully leap in with the Nintendo Wii and its motion controls. So that's kind of what we have going on in the horizon, as well as obviously into the collection and these podcast episodes. So at this point in the general format of the show, I would probably give some updates on general video game history and preservation stuff, like stuff that Hit Save or the Video Game History Foundation is doing. But as well, I would also answer any Q&A questions that would crop up. am going to be trying to ask, I'm about to record the podcast. What questions do you have for me? Whether that's, who's your favorite Smash character? What was your first Nintendo console? Stuff like that. That's kind of the idea, or any other questions that anyone might have for me. But that's pretty much it. Big news is, researching for the Broderbund, going to the Strong last week. The Switch 2 I think is really great, and I hope you guys enjoyed that video. And then Broderbund, Nintendo DS, unannounced title that I will, let you guys know later. And then the Phantom should be out later this month. But then, big one, Patreon relaunch and YouTube membership launch. So if you feel like supporting the channel, if you feel like allowing me to do this full time eventually, then please go ahead and check out becoming a YouTube member or a Patreon member. I'd really appreciate it, and it would allow me to create, continuously higher quality content for you guys, which is something that I strive for. Hence the purchase of this new camera that I kind of talked about in a few comments and Patreon posts, but that's the idea. So thank you guys for joining me on this episode, and I will see you next time.